All right, welcome everyone to Knightscope's Town Hall. We're going to be talking about 2023 financial performance now that we filed our 10K, and our CFO, Apoorv, here is going to take it away. And then after that, we're also going to talk about 2024 and the roadmap to profitable growth. Apoorv?
Thanks, Bill. I'm excited to talk about our 2023 performance. In my mind, as I looked at what you guys did and what Knightscope accomplished in 2023, it shows tremendous growth and a movement in the right direction. Looking at our revenue, the company produced about 12.8 million in revenues, and that's a 128% year-over-year growth. Now that includes the case acquisition, but that's accretive, and I think this shows that the company had lots of opportunity to continue to grow in that direction. From a gross margin perspective, the company did really well in cutting down its cost of goods. As you can see here, we lost 59% in gross margins in 2022, and we shrank that down to 15.6% of revenue in 2023. That's a 39% year-over-year improvement, primarily driven by some of the optimization that the company initiated and implemented in its processes, technologies, and people throughout 2023. In OpEx, similar results. The company spent 28.6 million in fixed fees. This includes R&D costs, our sales and marketing costs, and G&A costs, which typically are fixed out to support about 6 million in revenues in 2022. The company was able to bring that down to 24.3 million to support 12.8 million in revenues in 2023. That's a 15% year-over-year improvement. Now, when you do lower your costs on COGS and you lower your costs in gross margin, that shows up in net income or net loss in this case. We lost 25.6 million in 2022 and reduced that down to 22.1 loss in 2023, which is a huge improvement both as a percentage of revenue, which shrank from negative 455% of revenue in 2022 down to 173% of revenue in 2023, and a 14% year-over-year improvement. And now moving on to our EPS per share or loss per share. As you can see, we had an improvement in this metric as well. In 2022, the company reflected a 72 cents loss per share, whereas in 2023, we improved that by 53% to 34 cents per share. All this comes out to showing where the company is executing, Bill, and I think as we continue to execute on our path to profitability and growth, these are the right metrics. We are reflecting the right path, which is as we scale, we're optimizing our costs, we're optimizing our people, and we're optimizing our overall strategy on how we continue to execute to drive value for shareholders and ourselves over the course of the long run. With that, I'll pass it on to you to talk about our profitable roadmap to profitable growth.
Let's do it. I think in a lot of cases, we spent a good amount of time getting all this extremely difficult technology to actually work. And now that we've got it working and scaling is the time to start optimizing and reducing costs. And we wanted to give you an update on kind of where we're headed on those items. So if we can go on to the next slide. I think one of the first things to look at is just the organizational structure. We are a technology company. We need to focus on developing and building and shipping new capabilities and kind of right-sizing the organization for what we want to do. And we're on track to reduce our payroll expenditures by over 30% this calendar year. You've seen a lot of streamlining of management, reducing the top tier ranks. eliminating outright positions that no longer required in the organization, some automation, and we'll be talking a little bit more about strategic outsourcing to have some of our partners do work that's more core to them and certainly less core for us, and just basically focusing the organization much more finely. So moving on to the next item, as we now been growing and nearing 10,000 machines in network, kind of what worked when we're much smaller doesn't always necessarily scale. So we've been awarding contracts as we had done on the autonomous security robot side or ASR side of the business. We had prior announced that Konica Minolta had struck a partnership with us to provide support nationwide with their couple thousand service technicians. We've since added a couple more, and that has worked, minimizing in-house technicians and resources. And so we're just applying that, what we believe are best practice to the K1B side of the business or the emergency communication devices, and eliminating a lot of those positions in trucks and assets needed to operate and support, and leveraging those same partners and some new ones to be able to better support our nationwide clients. And that is now in process of being implemented and starting to work well. Manufacturing. We have presently 3 facilities, and we're going to consolidate those into one manufacturing facility. This will improve overall process flow and quality. There needs to be improvements in our purchasing efficiency across the portfolio of technologies, and also having some labor flexibility where the priority of workload between an ASR and K1B can be better balanced within the organization. And certainly involving our suppliers a lot more has started to yield some benefits. In some cases, subcontracting some modules for us to be able to go faster. Last year, we're on the ASR side, maybe building one machine every week or two. Now we're consistently shipping 3 a week, and hoping towards the end of the year getting to 5 a week. And so the process changes are working, and we're just kind of doubling down on that. So also working on reducing the cost of the bill of materials, and that could be design, could be architecture, could be materials, could be suppliers. There's a wide range of changes that we're making to continue to lower and lower the cost of the machine, just the materials, and then the labor to actually build them. And to do this faster and more efficiently will get us to where we want to go in terms of profitable growth. And then lastly, through the acquisition, we ended up inheriting a vast number of facilities across the country. We're in process of consolidating all that from 13 facilities down to one. This is going to take a little bit of time because obviously some of these leases have different dates of completion or ability to negotiate the lease. But this is intended to reduce our real estate footprint. I think we're on nearly spending $1 million a year on rent is a good place to be looking to reduce costs and reduce kind of the operational expenses and sometimes the associated inventory. And back to the having our suppliers be more involved. Some of these service vendors can take on some of the additional workload and associated expenses. So we're on track to continue to reduce our variable and fixed costs, and we're excited to see how the year ends out. And I think a year from now, the company's going to look very different from what you saw earlier in the presentation. And with that, if you're interested in seeing where the company's going, we, as part of Innovation Week, put together an all-new, a very shiny and exciting investor presentation. If you want to go download that, please go to knightscope.com/innovation. And remember, robots will be everywhere, And don't forget, long Knightscope and short the criminals. We'll see you on the other side.